The meeting come to order. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the village board meeting of February 10th, 2025. Roll call, please.
Stacy?
Here.
Thierry?
Here.
Kraus?
Here.
Gardner?
Here.
Diachenko?
Here.
Weisbach?
Here.
In your packet, you have minutes for the meeting of January 27th. Does anyone have any changes or updates? If not, can we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Roll call.
Stacy?
Yes.
Thierry?
Yes.
Kraus?
Yes.
Gardner?
Yes.
Diachenko?
Yes.
Weisbach?
Yes.
Does anyone from the audience wish to address the board? Village clerk's report.
Total tax income received in the month of January is $260,553.89, and we are now receiving money from the South Suburban Casino, tax money from there, so
Nice.
that's all.
Alrighty. Under my report, in your packet, you have an ordinance that would establish a moratorium for 90 days on the collection of new residential building permit fees, as we discussed last time, and it's basically the school and the park impact fees for 90 days until we have time to go over those and update them as they should have been being updated all along. So.
But it just put, he left it blank, so he just put a day.
Yes,
days,
so
yeah.
we should come up with a date certain at the end. If we made it effective today's date, we can either count out 90 days or 3 months or
I think
whatever.
the May 13th, I was trying to look at the calendar, I think it was like May.
Could we just do the start of the fiscal
13?
year?
Pardon?
Just start of the fiscal year, that way budget everything and not have to, it'd still be what, 10 weeks, 11 weeks? I mean, it wouldn't be quite 90 days, but it just line up with our fiscal budget. That'd
Why?
be easiest.
Does it matter May 1st? Just do it May 1st, is that?
I mean, if we're just for budgeting reasons, I guess it'd only be a couple weeks into the budget, so. I think-
Yeah, because if we did it on the 10th, we would be 9 days and 10 days into the budget. I mean,
That's
we
your
could,
last
if,
suggestion without-
well, no, that's fine, and if and only if we're able to get it together in the 90 days or so too, because we've given the school that amount of time to come up with the new fees, and then we have to also address what we want to do with parks, so, I don't know, if anybody wants to come up with a date. Would someone like to make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
I'll make a motion approving ordinance 1416, authorizing a moratorium on the collection of certain new residential building permit fees, and then we'll do that effective May 1st then.
Yes, yeah, February 10th through May 1st. There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, discussion? Roll call?
Weisbach?
Yes.
Diachenko?
Yes.
Gardner?
Yes.
Kraus?
Yes.
Thierry?
Yes.
Stacy?
Yes.
Village commissions, 4th of July commission, trustee Kraus.
Nothing to report.
Okay, youth commission, trustee Weisbach.
The daddy-daughter dance was recently held, it was well attended, and the next meeting is scheduled for the 18th this month.
Okay. And historic preservation commission, trustee Gardner.
Our next meeting will be February 19th at 6 p.m. at the depot, but that will probably be weather permitting, so I'll probably have an update on that at some point. That concludes my report.
All right. Committee reports, we are going to move up planning and zoning commission to the forefront. And that is planning, building, and zoning, trustee Gardner.
All right, Village Department monthly report is enclosed. Consider a motion directing the village attorney to draft an approval ordinance approving the proposed zoning ordinance and amending the zoning district act. The PZC held a public hearing on January 23rd, 2025. They reviewed the ordinance, made some minor modifications, and voted unanimously to recommend approval of the proposed zoning ordinance with the changes made. We have Pete here from Teskin Associates. If you wouldn't mind providing just a brief summary of what we changed in the process of the
Sure.
ordinance?
Yeah, so for those of you who aren't aware, we started the process, it's been about a year that we've been going through the zoning ordinance. It's quite a big complicated legal document, so it took a little bit of time. We had a committee set up, Eric was on the committee, a couple of our other committee people are here. The chairman of the planning commission was on there. We basically went, every month or two, I'd write a couple chapters, we'd go through it, and then we kind of worked our way through the ordinance over the course of the year. We didn't change anything drastically that would, we didn't want to drastically change setback requirements or something that would make, large chunks of the village non-conforming with the new ordinance. But really what we wanted to do is we had a couple of main goals. Number one was just to update it to address changes in laws since the original zoning ordinance was passed. Things like the section on signs, we completely rewrote because the Supreme Court had a decision that drastically changed the way you can regulate signs. The other couple of things we really wanted to do was integrate all the stuff that you guys have piecemeal passed over the last 20 years. All the little things on marijuana and all the, the little things that have come up with trailers and little things that have fences that have come up over the years, we incorporated all that in. And the other big thing we wanted to do was make the zoning ordinance, well, two things. Number one, your existing ordinance is super complicated as far as there's things in multiple places, like it'll be referenced at the front and then referenced again at the back. It has things like your zoning districts, the R1 has a set of uses, and then R2 is everything that's allowed in the R1 plus the R2. And so it's really hard for staff or citizens to get a straight answer in your code. So we simplified all that stuff. And the other big thing we wanted to do was update the processes to match what you actually do. Your processes for variances and text amendments and rezonings. The Plan Commission and staff, Charity, has a very good system now where they do the workshops up front, and the Plan Commission runs very smoothly, but the ordinance didn't spell all that out. So the ordinance didn't match what you guys actually do in practice, so we updated all that stuff. So it was a lot of tweaks and everything. It's completely rewritten. We saved a couple of little pieces from the old one, but for the most part, we rewrote the whole thing. Again, we went through a year of the committees, then we had a public hearing with the Plan Commission. They had a couple of minor changes, so now we're up to you guys. So I know it's a big nut to crack reading this whole thing, but if there's any changes or anything, now would be the time. I don't think you're trying to approve it tonight, Chair, you said. So you still have some time, so feel free to, look through it, and if there's anything that you guys want to address, now would be the time.
And this one is gonna be online this time, right? Is this gonna be
Yeah, we are
codified?
yes.
Yeah, so that it would be more easily searched, because right now with all the changes that were made, if somebody came in and tried to figure out what our zoning was, you could look up the old document, but nothing else that was done since then was online, and it's impossible to be able to get any information.
Yeah, I can work with you to get it on one of those sites if you want, and then I will, when we have the final document, I'll go through and put links just in the PDF for you, just so it'll bounce you to the right chapters and stuff. Yeah, and then the last thing we did, I tried to make charts and diagrams and put any visual things in there to make it easier for the average resident to understand all the legal terminology.
What did the PZC, what did they change?
Yes, there was a few.
Yeah, I think some of those zoning district uses.
Yeah, there's a couple things in the table, a couple of the uses that we switched around from permitted to special use, and changed the districts. Yeah, there was only 3 or 4 little minor tweaks they had.
Anybody else have any questions, concerns?
Trust me on this one. Try to read that thing.
It's been a year and a half.
I have a question.
Mhm.
This is gonna be on the village website online, correct?
Yeah.
Is it gonna be editable, be able to be edited if there's changes made?
Editable online, no.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're gonna codify it too, so it'll be on like on a PDF, like Pete was saying, that he'll put little links so you can click, and it'll take you to chapters, but we're also gonna do it how our village
It'll
code
get there
is.
eventually.
So that, yeah,
Okay.
that might take a little longer, but.
If you go to one of those online, like Muni Code, I think there's two of
Yes.
them.
That's what we use now.
Anytime you make an amendment, you just send it to them and they update it on.
Yeah, that's what we
website.
do with our village code currently.
But editable, like I can't just go on there and change it.
Get up, David. It's a lot of pages to chew, I mean, that part.
Yeah, it is. So do we wanna do this to direct the village attorney tonight, or do we wanna wait until?
This would just be having him.
And make the
the
ordinance.
approval ordinance, because you have to have that to. And then, I mean, really, I suppose at the end of the day, if somebody came up with something, we could still make those changes next meeting. Like,
Right.
if you guys happen to take, you know, whatever, read it and find something in there that specifically came up, it could still be changed.
Yeah, it's still a draft until you guys say so, so it's complete, everything's still open.
And did you want to mention the short-term rental portion that we want to add?
Oh, yeah, yeah. The, well, I mean, we can, because the short-term rental portion in there, I'm trying to remember what it was.
Page 50 something.
What were you, was your thought to not have it at all, or just have the?
Well, the section, I think Pete had just put in there, just some verbiage to include it in there, but I had found a couple ordinances from other municipalities that regulated them so that they had to be licensed, they had to be insured, they had to follow a lot of different requirements for the village, because we do have 3 in town.
Is this
2
like Airbnb?
Airbnbs and things like that, and one of them actually advertises in their place online that they don't have insurance. And so I think we need to address that and require them to do
I
that.
completely forgot about that, sorry, Jeanette.
That's okay.
But, so, I don't know if you can see that up there, but we had put, because we were gonna need to, update this a little bit.
Yeah, I avoided having a permitting process, I can easily add that, I didn't think it was, you had that many of them and you wanted to do that.
Just because of some
but-
issues we've had recently, I think it'd be great to regulate them.
I can certainly add, yeah, that's an easy fix, if that's the way you wanna go.
Yeah, and I sent them to Charity, and maybe she can forward them to you.
Sure.
I mean, it's not my decision, but, you know, so that you guys can look at it and see what you want, what you
Yeah.
don't.
Well, like today, if, the board wants to look at that section, and see if you have any maybe thoughts with how you'd like to have that, regulated or whatever too, so, we'll have more time.
Yeah, the way I did it was they had to come and register, so you knew where they were, and they could get a health inspection or whatever. But I didn't require that they get like a license for that, but we can certainly add that stuff.
It doesn't have to be a license, but the registration and making sure that they're insured and stuff, I think is pretty important.
Thank you.
All right, so I will make a motion directing the village attorney to draft an approval ordinance approving the proposed zoning ordinance and amending the zoning district map.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, discussion? Roll call?
Stacy,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Kraus.
Yes.
Gardner,
Yes.
Leachinko.
Yes.
Weisman.
Yes.
Just one more thing, I'd like to take a quick second to thank Pete here. I think the entire steering committee would agree it was truly a pleasure working with him throughout this process. His knowledge and professionalism is second to none. I'd also like to thank everyone who served on the steering committee, George Schudema, Bob Heim, Mayor Meyer, you stopped in for those early meetings. Administrators Bob Barber and Charity Mitchell. We had a lot of long, tedious, sometimes lively meetings, but we got it done. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
And that concludes my report.
Finance and Administration, Trustee Kraus.
Thank you. Treasurer's report, Donna?
The January month end of the village accounts was $5,763,100 $235.80. The January month end for the commission accounts, $243,823.73. The two combined totaled $6,006,959.53. The January month end in general account, $1,583,411.42. And the commission non-AP payments for the month of January totaled $386,989.12. Nothing out of the ordinary in that. If no one has any questions, then that would end my report.
I'll make a motion approving the treasurer's report.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, discussion, roll call.
Weisbach?
Yes.
Beechenko?
Yes.
Gardner?
Yes.
Kraus?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Stacy?
Yes.
Variance reports enclosed for your review. And then I'll make a motion approving the list of bills and payroll in the amount of $72,214.57.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, discussion, roll call.
Stacy?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Kraus?
Yes.
Gardner?
Yes.
Beechenko?
Yes.
Weisbach?
Yes.
And that's all I have.
Public buildings and properties, trustee DeChenko.
Thank you, Mayor. Nothing new to report at this time.
Chief, did you have any updates or anything on the building over there, the public safety building?
No, I was on vacation.
I was in it this
That's not an
weekend.
excuse.
They started putting up some of the different cabinetry and the drop ceiling framing and stuff is starting to come in, so it's coming together.
I gotta get over there and see it.
Yeah.
Now that it's starting to look
Yeah.
like something.
It's definitely coming on. Can't walk through the walls of it.
It's just very big and open.
The parking lot, do you want to bring that up?
How about
That west side?
grass?
Out
The west
paving
side of the building?
The one area.
Yeah.
So, the area just west of the police station, the actual brick building, there's an unpaved area where there's a lot of, dirt put in place, and Matt's probably gonna be happy about this. We got an estimate to see how much it would cost to pave that, so we have extra parking, and then the public will not have to come into our private area and have to mow it, because it's a pretty big area, but we got an estimate, I forgot, it was $18,000?
It was like, I think it was 18 and a half or something there.
Yeah, so
So-
18, which I can put that on the next agenda for approval.
So we're looking at getting that paved. I think that would be not just good for Matt, but good for us as well, gives us more parking.
And I asked Matt, did you get a chance to look at it to see if Public Works can remove that dirt? Because that was part of the estimate.
Yeah, I ran over there after we had talked, and without knowing what's underneath there, I don't see why we wouldn't be able to do it. But we don't have any of the drawings of the electrical or running through parking lot lights and things like that, so that'd be my only concern with us doing it in-house, of causing more damage than, us trying to save a few bucks. But it's definitely something that we would be able to do if I can. I'll talk to Ray more about it and see what he has to
Ray's
say.
there every day if you
Yeah.
wanna go, he'll know if there's anything.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the quote was to remove the dirt and then to stone and pave it. So if we can get rid of, if we can do in-house removing the dirt, I think it was like 3,000 and change, something like that. Huh?
$5,000.
Oh, was it that much? Okay, but like I said, we're gonna look to see if maybe we can save a little bit
Yeah,
doing
for sure.
some of the work in-house.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just think it'd be better for maintenance wise, you don't have to worry about it, it's grass, treating it, mowing it, just make it pavement, make it more parking, so if they have training classes or something, people can park in the secure part of the lot. Just long-term, I think it'd be a lot easier and probably a savings also.
And the board can park there too, if we have our meeting there.
And that's it.
That's it, thank you.
All right, Public Safety Committee, trustee Thierry.
Thank you, Mayor. Unfortunately, the police department and EMA reports I did not see in the packet. Chief,
I
anything like that?
I just turned them in today, sorry,
That's okay, no problem.
but again, I was on vacation.
Anything you want to add, Chief?
And then,
About what is vacation?
did you enjoy your vacation?
I wanna hear about the guy being gone.
He's got quite a tan.
Yeah.
Mine's there, right?
Yeah, thanks. Director Hyman, anything like that?
No, I'm good.
I'd like to consider a motion approving an ordinance authorizing the execution of an intergovernmental agreement between the Illinois Office of the Comptrollers and the Village of Beecher regarding access to the Comptroller's local debt recovery program. So this is an interagreement to where we work with comptrollers to where if in the event we have somebody who owes us money, they'll be able to collect those debts either out of, through the IRS or garnishing wages and stuff like that. So if when they go to the hearing, if they're found, it's not guilty, but if they're found liable, then a fine is assessed. And then once that fine is assessed, if they don't pay it, then we can go ahead and collect it from the comptrollers.
And this would apply to village debt as well.
So,
So it's ordinance
Looking-
1417.
thank you. So, looking for a motion to approve the ordinance authorizing the execution of an intergovernmental agreement between the Illinois Office of the Comptrollers and the Village of Beecher regarding access to the Comptroller's local debt recovery program.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, discussion, roll call?
Weisman,
Yes.
Diachenko,
Yes.
Gardner,
Yes.
Kraus,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Stacy.
Yes. And then also last week on Thursday, I met and we, with the Board of Directors meeting at the Larway Communication Center. Basically what everybody has in front of them is what they have, it's like a snapshot of last year, so it has all the different call volumes from fire and police. And it kind of breaks down just some of the important things as far as timing on the calls, when the 911 calls come in, and where we stand at as far as like calls and stuff that's being dispatched. It's kind of broken down by incidents for police is in blue and obviously fire is in red. So if you have any questions on that, you can reach out to me after the meeting. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Public Works Committee, Trustee Stacy.
Thank you, Mayor. The Public Works monthly report for January is enclosed for your review. The Water Department's monthly report for December, November and December is enclosed for your review. The water bill registry report for November and December is enclosed. And the wastewater treatment plant monthly report for January is enclosed. And that's on my, I'll have on my report, Mayor. I'd just like to say something to the superintendent. Get ready, you might be getting some snow coming.
Looks that way, yeah, yeah.
All right, Parks and Recreation and Community Events Committee.
Thank you very much. An update on the summer concert series. We're still securing food vendors for the 3 dates that we have selected. Those dates and the accompanying bands are as follows. For June 7th, we have Southtown Soul and Brew. For August 16th, one of these nights. And September 6th, Jukebox Heroes, and these are all from 6 to 9 p.m. as of right now. And that concludes my report.
All righty. Any old business to come before the board?
I have a couple things. Along with the other concert, the one village is gonna sponsor for the 4th of July would be July 3rd. That's all American something. Oh, American something, I get it wrong now. Throwback.
I always wanna say reject.
Yeah, I was wanna say band name, but don't want that on camera that band's coming. So yeah, we're gonna sponsor the 3rd, and I think I talked to most everybody, but that'll be our day for volunteering to work at the stand too. And then the other thing I have is we met today with one of the banks in town, to get some information. The we have to get them some information, then we'll follow up with them. Then we're trying to set another, a date next week, we're trying to do,
2 weeks out.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
With another bank to get some information, and then probably sometime next month we'll have a recommendation for the board. But we're just still continuing that process, and that today's went pretty good, so we'll see how it goes. That's all I have.
All right. We are going to go into executive session to discuss personnel. So if someone would make a motion to go into executive session, please.
So moved.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Stacy,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Kraus,
Yes.
Gardner,
Yes.
Beechinko,
Yes.
Weisbaum,
Yes.